Okay, finally back home after a nice relaxing weekend of camping. I feel refreshed, invigorated, and ready to take on the work week. But first, I gotta see what the wrestling world was up to while I was gone. Huh. Hey everyone, Brian Zane from Wrestling with Regret here. Let's talk for a minute about that crazy, wild Hulk Hogan story that broke late last week. I know I'm a little late to the party on this, but I got a lot of requests over the weekend to talk about this, so I want to give you my thoughts. Last Friday, the National Enquirer and Radar Online, in a joint investigation, released a transcript of a racist tirade that Hogan gave several years ago in the midst of this sex tape recording with Bubba the Love Sponge's wife. Not quite sure how the N-bomb comes up in conversation in the middle of sexy time, but who am I to judge? WWE was quick to act when the story broke, immediately firing Hogan and removing all mention of him from their website. Some Hogan-related footage has been removed from the network. A lot of people are saying that Hogan got the Benoit treatment here, but I think it's more appropriate to say he got the CM Punk treatment or the Hogan in 1995 treatment. If you haven't seen the comments yet, it's pretty vile and racist stuff. Simply put, Hogan's comments were indefensible. You can talk about how Hogan didn't know he was being recorded, or there was a private conversation, or all the wrestlers who have stood up in defense of Hogan, or the other racist things the company has done in the past, but that's not really the issue here. WWE had every right to fire Hogan, and they were right in firing Hogan. This move was clearly a CYA tactic, but it needed to be done in order to save face in what some people would call a very outrage-prone society. A lot of you might know that I ranked Hogan as one of my top 8 favorite wrestlers of all time. Now, every fan of Hogan's is going to be reacting to this story differently, but in my experience as a fan, I'm just very disappointed that Hogan would say such heinous things. You expect someone like your drunken racist uncle to say it out of nowhere in the middle of Thanksgiving dinner, but not Hulk freaking Hogan. Also, I think it's too bad that Hogan's career may very well have ended on this very sour note. It's sad to think of someone who has accomplished as much as he has, all the accomplishments and the moments and the memories could all be scrubbed away, all because of some very poor decision he made several years ago. I will say it doesn't really change my opinion of Hogan as a worker. Like someone who's a fan of Chris Benoit, I'm able to separate Hogan the wrestler from Hogan the racist. He's still in my top 8. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he has not been an active performer for a very long time. The stuff he has done in the ring is just eons away from what Hogan is like today. Had this story broken, say, 1990, things might be a little different. It's been weird to go on social media and see some people practically rejoicing or cackling with glee over the news of Hogan's firing. I think a lot of people have been taking their already instilled dislike or hatred of Hogan based on what he's done in his career, and they're using this story as an excuse to feel vindicated or justified in their hatred. To those people who are doing that, let me tell you, I wouldn't crow too loudly about it, because I guarantee you, your favorite wrestler or your favorite legend, chances are, has done something very similar in their past that would get them in the same predicament as Hogan is in today. To use this as an analogy, I'm a big fan of college football, and when I see a story about a college program being hit with this big recruiting scandal or some NCAA violation, I don't use that as an excuse to boast about my favorite team, because I know that any day from now, my favorite team could also be hit with something very similar. Everyone in life has had their moment of weakness. Everyone in life has made their big mistake, something that someone has said or done that was very bad that they regretted, that has cost them something big or could cost them something big if people found out about it. I've done it. Chances are you've done it as well. Who are we to look at the fall from grace of Hulk Hogan or Joe Schmo on the street or anyone else for that matter and mock them for it? Aside from things like maybe murder, rape, and that's about it, maybe domestic violence too, I believe that people who have committed their big mistake usually are entitled to a second chance, provided that person is very apologetic and atones deeply for what they have done. Hulk Hogan has already apologized for his remarks once, but that's not enough. He needs to do a whole lot more in order to repair his public image. He needs to apologize again and again, go on the talk show circuit if he has to, give back to his community in some way. It's going to be a lengthy process, but it is possible to rebuild your image. If he can show that he has truly changed his ways and turns this negative into a positive, I see WWE bringing him back within 3, maybe even 2 years from now. Because as much as WWE has proven in the past they don't need Hulk Hogan in their lives, they sure as heck would like to have him on board. And in my opinion, someone who's done so much in his career, so much in this business, deserves to have his career end on a positive note. So what do you think about the Hulk Hogan scandal? Can his career be saved, or is this truly the end of Hulkamania as we know it? The comment section should be very interesting on this one. Also, real quick before someone posts about the First Amendment, it does not protect someone from being punished by their employer. Be sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to Wrestling with Regret, and buy the t-shirt. I'm Brian Zane, and I'll see you next time.